Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Peter Palmer podcast, where we attempt to read every Stan Lee written issue of The Amazing Spider-Man week by week. And this week we're at the beach, as you can see.
Do you know?
Oh yeah.
It's the beach.
Continuing our little...
Holiday.
kind of holiday, but it's like we're on the run. What do you call that? Like when you're on the run.
But
There's a
Catch Me If You
word for
Can.
that.
The
we're
movie.
Catch Me If You Can.
We're Catch Me If You Can.
We are Leonardo DiCaprio.
And we don't know who Tom Hanks is yet, but we'll find out soon, I suppose.
Yeah. I know the gatekeeper threatened us, but we don't know who, like, he's sending after us.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a new week.
It is a new week.
What do you reckon?
What do I reckon? Yeah, what do I... You don't ask how I am anymore. You're just like, what do you reckon?
Yeah, what do you reckon?
Yeah, this is a pretty good week. Honestly, I watched not many films again.
Hold your horses. Before we get into the movie segment,
Yeah.
I have a special segment.
Is this a Sony segment?
It's not a Sony segment. It's called
Ooh.
Peter Palmer Quiz Time. Sammie doesn't know the answers, or maybe she does know the answers to them.
What the fuck?
This is a segment.
This has genuinely caught me by surprise.
This is called Peter Palmer Podcast Quiz. And I've got 12 questions here for you.
What, 12?
Yeah.
That's a lot of questions,
It
Mike.
is.
Am I going to win anything?
You'll win,
You
I
can
guess,
buy
just
me a bubble
appreciation.
tea.
I'll buy you a bubble tea.
Yeah, all right. Appreciation's not good enough.
Appreciation from the fans that you remember so much about the comics we've read over the
The
past year.
fans? What? Oh, yeah, sorry, the fans. Yeah,
Okay,
I know you.
Ready for this?
Yeah.
Question 1. Name 3 of the enforcers.
The big man.
Yep, 1.
Oh, fuck. The Italian one.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I think one of them is Italian.
What's his name?
I don't know which one's Italian.
The Italian one.
Montana. Montana doesn't sound Italian. There you go. I'll give you Montana.
Oh, I was about to say the Texas one. So
Okay, there you go. Which one's the Italian one? Fancy Dan?
no. Okay, what the fuck? There's a Fancy Dan. I know.
There's Big Man, Ox, Fancy Dan, and Montana.
Okay, I definitely wasn't going to get any of
two.
those.
I'll
Yeah.
give you 2.
Thank you.
That's half a point.
It's half a point. All right.
2/3 of a point? Yeah.
Going well.
How did the Looter get his powers?
Luther has powers?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have powers. He's just a guy.
No, he's got powers. How'd he get them?
You're gaslighting me.
He
doesn't.
whiffed a meteorite.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I remember that now.
Question 3. When did we first see the Sinister Six?
Annual 1.
Correct. Question 4. Why did everyone want to steal the infamous tablet?
Because of the youth of youth. The fountain of youth.
You got it right.
Yeah.
See, some of these aren't.
Yeah, they're not that bad. The first one was really hard.
Some of them might get you. Number 5. Which villain did Spider-Man fight in the issue where he graduated?
Green Goblin.
No. It's an obscure one. But I remember it because I'm like, why would he fight him on this day?
The Looter.
No.
Blackie Drago.
No, I'll give you a hint. He's kind of in Far From Home.
Oh, the Tinkerer. No, that's not his
Home.
name. Not the Tinkerer. Oh, what's his name? Oh my god. I know who you're talking about, though. I think so.
Think the Elementals.
Oh, yeah. Magma Man. Water guy.
You were closer the first time.
Hi. No.
Molten
Molten Man. Magma Man.
Question 6.
Fuck.
Who/what did Spidey have to save in the very first issue of The Amazing Spider-Man?
So not Amazing Fantasy.
No.
Very
His
first
story,
issue of the
yeah,
Amazing.
His first mission.
Who's like? Oh, it was J. Jonah Jameson's kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The space shuttle.
The
he was
space shuttle.
flying.
Yeah.
Question 7. How did Electro get his powers?
He licked a telephone pole.
I wish.
He got hit by lightning and touched electricity.
Well, he was touching the power cable.
Okay, yeah. I like the first answer better.
Question 8. How did Spidey first defeat the Sandman?
He wet him.
No.
He blew him with a vacuum.
Yeah.
Or sucked him. He sucked him with a vacuum. Yeah.
Question. I haven't been keeping tally, by the way. It'll be in the video, though.
Yeah.
I reckon you've got enough right so far. So if you get the rest right, maybe...
What number are we up to?
Number 9.
Okay.
How did Spidey first defeat Doc Ock?
Oh, I couldn't tell. He punched him in the head.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. Punched him in the head.
Number 10. Who was responsible for putting the Scorpion in his armor/costume?
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
How do I know these?
So you're doing good.
Yeah, I am. What the fuck?
Question 11. What is Silvermane's real name?
Silver Manganelli.
You're pretty close. Silvio Manfredi.
I knew it was something like that.
That's just how Stanley comes up with his names. He comes up with like the name of the their alter ego. Then
and
he's
then
like
makes
he works
their name.
backwards.
Yeah, it's like Silver Sable.
Final question. What is the name of Peter and Aunt May's doctor?
Oh my god, Dr. Farnsworth. I don't know why.
Oh, no, you're kind of close, I guess.
Dr.
No, it starts with a B.
Barnsworth.
No.
What's his name?
Dr. Bromwell.
Bromwell. Oh, yeah.
I reckon you got most of those right.
Yeah, I think I did pretty well
Okay,
considering.
Sammie wins this first round of Peter
I won a no
quiz.
prize.
Yeah.
Yay.
You can quiz me next week
I
if you
thought
can
they
be
were
bothered.
I thought they were going to be really hard because the first question was like so difficult.
I tried to get them where it's not like super obvious, like where people just can be like, oh, duh.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not like so hard where you'd be like, what? It's like, what happened on panel 5 of The Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Movie segment time.
This is the movie segment with Sammie and Mike. This is the movie segment. Hang in tight, my boy.
Cool.
go.
Movie segment time. A few things this week that I watched.
Yes.
Did you watch anything first?
I watched...
We both watched The Boys. Let's talk about The Boys first.
Oh my god, yeah. I like that show. I watched it with my brother and we enjoyed it so much. Like every laugh, we cackled. Every like fucking gruesome part, we were just like, oh, like, you know, when you watch a show with someone, you like physically react to like all the things. Like, it was like that. It was like really fun to watch.
It was a fun show.
It was fun, yeah.
Yeah, not my favorite thing.
I don't like
but
the
it's pretty good.
The main character though.
Oh yeah.
That much, honestly.
He's a bit Bazinga. Not Bazinga, but like, well,
He's alright, yeah.
I don't know. He rides the line of being annoying, but also relatable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I guess he's trying to deflect like his grief and his pain with like through humor, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kind of like a Deadpool character.
I suppose. Yeah.
Carl Urban's good.
I love Carl Urban's character.
Soups, eh?
And Homelander, oh my god, the guy who plays him. Oh, Jesus Christ. What a good portrayal. Like that acting, oh my god.
I know, it made me like curious to see like interviews of him because I want to know like, is this guy just an asshole?
No, he's actually like really
He's
nice.
Kiwi too.
He's
I've heard.
Kiwi, yeah. And he's like, he has a
Homelander.
puppy and he's like super nice. Like I've seen his Instagram. He's like a boomer on Instagram where he's like really like.
He has like mean eyes though.
He
Like,
does.
when I see his eyes, I'm like, oh, he's
But
a
he's
mean man.
beautiful too. He's like genuinely like he looks like a Superman type where he's like
I suppose.
like very like gorgeous. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, The Boys, you'd recommend it.
definitely. The best character is Starfire. No, sorry.
Starlight.
Starlight.
Yeah, no,
Teen
she's really
Titans
good.
ass.
I didn't like how the ending wasn't an ending.
No.
I guess that's just
but
TV
that's
shows.
TV shows, yeah.
I'm just so used to these mini-series now where it's like a whole package.
Exactly, because
And
it's
then-
not a mini series, it's a TV show.
Yeah, then they make like a second season and it builds on it, but it's still, you know,
yeah.
has an ending.
And afterwards, I
Like
was
Stranger Things, I
curious
guess.
after watching The Boys, and I read a few of the comics.
Oh,
And,
you did?
Yeah,
How'd you find them?
I read the first couple, and then I skimmed through about 10
Okay.
more. Like, I didn't really read them
Yeah.
properly, but I, like, scrolled through them. And it's quite different. I'm pretty sure Huey, the main character, takes Compound V.
Okay.
I think. Like, I
That could be
don't know.
season 2.
But the gore is not as gory as the show. The show is gorier, but it's a much more like sexual. Like that part where like Starlight basically gets Harvey Weinstein. It's
Yeah.
like every guy. It happens,
Oh,
but with
geez.
every single guy in the
That's, yeah.
yeah, in the 7. So Yeah,
I
anyway.
was curious if that actually happened in the comic because it feels very timely. But also that stuff happened
Ages ago, and no one talked about it. That's the thing. But it happens in the comic, but it's worse because she gets like raped by like 6 guys.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's fucked. Anyway.
Yeah, I've heard like the comic is more graphic. That's usually how it is.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I watched an interview with Mr. Starr, the guy who played. I don't know his first name. I forgot, but.
Huh?
His last name is Starr, S-T-A-R-R, so I'm just going to call him Mr. Starr. The guy who plays Homelander.
Oh, okay.
And he said that, like, they were like, oh, like, the interviewer was like, how close is the adaptation, like, to the comics? He's like, we couldn't, like, make it like the comics or else, like, sick people would watch it. Like, we don't want sick people to watch our show, like, you know.
Because I didn't think the show was actually as gratuitous as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
like, from how it started,
totally.
I was like, oh, God, I'm not.
I mean, it literally begins with, like, a woman getting fucking minced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like the Kick-Ass comics. Like,
Yeah.
the comics are way more graphic
Oh
than
my
the
god,
movie.
they're so gratuitous, the comics, the
Yeah.
Kick-Ass comics. Holy fuck.
Big Daddy's death, like, you see like a huge like splash page panel of him like getting punched in the face and just like caves in and blood like comes out.
Yuck.
Yeah, and when people get like their limbs cut off, just blood everywhere. But in the movie, it's like
Yeah.
it's all fun and whimsical.
Yeah.
I actually think the Kick-Ass movie is better than the comic.
Really?
Yeah.
I need
Except
to read
the ending
comic.
of the comic is better because it's not a happy ending.
Yeah.
The movie, it's too like Hollywood, like pristine, clean, and there's a jetpack. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is there a jetpack if this is meant to be like, what if superheroes were real? It gets a
Yeah.
bit silly. It kind of becomes like what they're parodying.
It kind of does, yeah. But,
Yeah. That's the one
It's-
bit of Kick-Ass. I'm like,
it's... Kick-Ass 2 is a thing as well.
it is, and it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
I haven't watched it since the cinema. I also watched Fleabag.
I've been
season
meaning to
1.
watch that. Yeah, I started it the other night, but I fell asleep instantly, so I don't remember anything.
Well,
But you tell
too
me
bad.
about it, Mike.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will tell you about it, Samantha.
Samantha. That's my new name, Samantha.
Samantha. No, it's good. It's like, you like British comedy, don't you?
I love British comedy. I grew up watching Monty Python. Oh, okay.
Well, guess what? It's British comedy, but it's also
Bean.
equally a drama. I'd say it's kind of more
Yeah,
drama than
well,
it is.
that's like kind of like when I read the synopsis, that's kind of how it put it. It was like, it's like a depressing backdrop, but it was funny. Like, you know what I mean?
Pretty much the whole thing. Like, if it was just a normal show, it'd be like a straight up drama. But there's this whole fourth wall breaking aspect of main character Fleabag, where she'll like narrate and like talk to the audience like about stuff. Like we're in her head, kind of.
And is she like? So it's like more like a what do you call it? Like a deep dive into like her psyche in those
Yeah,
moments.
because
and
it's a
stuff.
character like dealing with grief but refusing to. Like she's like addicted to sex and like
Yeah.
looking for all these escapes from her actually having to deal with the stuff happening in her life.
So it's set in London, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when it gets to like the drama bit, there's no of like that silly like comedy bits. Like it can be really funny in a moment, and then someone will say a line, then suddenly it's like, oh, we're in a drama.
Yeah.
Like it rides that line very well without being.
I
annoying.
like that. I really do like that because it keeps you on your toes when you're watching, and it's like not just so it doesn't.
It's like life.
Yeah, it is like life. It's like moments. I don't know. Yeah, I would have to watch it because then I'd be able to articulate what I mean. But
Because
yeah,
there's like sometimes she won't like fully like talk to the camera. Like it'll just be like a little side eye, like a little like.
like a look. Yeah.
But it'll be for like a split second. But
Oh
it's like
my
so
god,
good.
I love that. I love that so much.
Where someone will say something like really weird to her, and she'll be like,
The Office started that, and the UK Office, by the way.
This does it different to the
Yeah.
Office.
Because it's not like a
It's not like a fake
mockumentary,
documentary,
yeah. But no, like I
It's
love
really
that.
good.
Yeah.
Really memorable characters too.
Is the main actress good?
Yeah, it's Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And she created the show too. Wrote
Oh,
it, directed
really?
it. Yeah.
That's so cool.
I think she directed it. She definitely wrote it. and,
or
like,
directed
created it.
some episodes. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she was acting it, so it's like it would have been hard to do everything.
Yeah.
But,
Exactly.
yeah.
I love that. Power to her.
No, it's really
Awesome.
good. It's also feminist without being like too feminist, you know?
Yeah. It's funny because I haven't had many people talk about that show. So
No.
I
I've
wanna-
heard it like in passing, and I'm like, oh yeah.
yeah.
But then I looked it up, and it's got like super rave reviews, like 100% Rotten Tomatoes, like 5 stars everywhere. It's really good.
It's
And
like fucking Legion. It's
6 episodes, and it takes like under 3 hours to complete it because it's like a sitcom
Yeah.
length episodes. Yeah, it's good. Kind of reminds you of Atlanta,
I haven't seen it.
where Atlanta like rides that line between comedy and drama like perfectly.
What's Atlanta on? Is it on Amazon? Oh no, that's
It's not on anything here. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think. Wait, no, it is. It's on SBS. That's how I watched it. Yeah.
It's probably gone by now. Because
Season
SBS.
2 might still be there.
Okay, well that's useless to me.
Yeah. If
Anyway.
you can find season 1, you can watch season 2 for free.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Anything else did you watch? I watched a few more things.
I'm trying to think. I watched the new Invader Zim film.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm a huge fan of Invader Zim. Like as I grew up watching it, and the film, I didn't know this, was just the comic books that came out like a few years ago, just adapted to the screen. But that's not a bad thing. Like I really enjoyed it. It definitely is like I don't know, like when you watch things that you used to watch as a kid, you always like have this like, I don't know, like trophy memory of it, and like when you watch it back, sometimes it doesn't ever live up to that like expectation because you blow it up in your mind so much.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what happened, but I still really enjoyed it nonetheless. Like me and my brother watched it and we like reminisced and stuff. It was nice, but yeah, no, it's a quirky little, like Invader Zim's always been a quirky thing, and the creator of it, he's really cool and different, and yeah.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
I usually have the opposite thing where I think back on something I like, I'm like, oh, that's probably not good anymore. Then I watch it and I'm like, no, this is good.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Yeah.
Sky High.
Sky High, yeah.
That's one I can think of.
What about one that's the
this will
opposite,
hold
like
up.
Underdog?
I never liked Underdog that much.
Oh,
though,
really?
So I saw it once, but I didn't like it enough to like go out and watch it again
Yeah.
or buy it.
What other things did you watch?
Well, we both saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh my god, I
but
forgot about that.
separately.
I was trying to think. I was like, I definitely watched a film in the cinemas. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, I watched it last week. So
I thought it was really, really, really good.
I loved it. Yeah, and I don't know what I've only seen people either say like, oh, it was good, or say, oh, I hated it, or feet. Yeah.
All I see is feet, and I'm like, what about the movie?
Yeah, exactly. Nearly everyone that I'm like friends with on Facebook that like haven't done film like with us or whatever, like
Yeah.
aren't film people, have hated the film or just like,
yeah.
it was so bad.
Well,
I'm
'cause,
just like, what the fuck?
I've seen like a lot of people like it's very self-indulgent and like very lofty, and like the scenes have no real point, and like it just holds on. It's like, have you seen a Tarantino movie before?
Yeah,
It's
literally. I was about
exactly
to
what I
say
expected.
exactly, and it feels like Tarantino made like a really Tarantino film. That's what Once Upon a Time in Hollywood feels like to me.
Yeah.
It's like he went full like, all right, I'm doing it. Like I'm gonna just do a film that like, you know.
Yeah, it felt like
Yeah.
a passion project.
Yeah.
Like he really loves that 60s era
He
film,
does.
like,
And
that
he knows
history.
so much about it. Like there's
Of
a video
course,
on
yeah.
YouTube that we watched, and it was just like him talking the whole time about just like, he has so much knowledge
You reckon a
about it.
helicopter will come into shot?
All right, let's have a look.
I think it was too high.
Oh no, that's
That
sad.
would have been good production value.
Yeah, it would have been. Anyway, that's fine.
But no, it's a really good movie.
It is. It's a good film, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I loved. I don't know.
I don't think there was
Just-
anything without purpose. Like a lot of people say, like, what was the point of that? What was the point of this scene? It's like it all kind of paints this picture that he's trying to show, and like you get to spend time with the characters.
Exactly. Yeah, I really like Leo's character, Rick Dalton. He's
Yeah,
a very
he's really
enjoyable character. Very
I enjoyed all
cool.
the characters.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
There's one bit where it's like the Bruce Lee flashback, where at the time I'm like, what does this have to do with like the rest of the movie?
Yeah.
You know?
But it
But
makes
then-
sense by the end.
Yeah. By the end, I was like, okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole like rumors about him, and like where it shows that scene where they're on the boat with his wife.
Yeah.
And that frame is just so perfect. Like you just know it's like, oh,
Yeah. The way Tarantino sequences his movies is
Yeah.
really interesting.
it is.
Like the first like 2/3 of the movie takes place over 2 days, but it's like 2 hours plus of the movie.
Yeah, and then the last bit,
Last section, it skips 6 months.
6 months,
Then suddenly, like, it's the whole rest of it.
and then it's just, and then the rest of the movie takes place on one night.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So the whole movie is like 3 days
yeah,
in total.
in total, yeah.
And I expect like a lot of people were probably like, "Oh, it's sucked until the ending."
Oh my
Where it's like
God.
the ending's good because of the
Rest of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if they just showed you the ending, you'd be like, why do I care?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I like how Tarantino plays with history now.
Yeah, me too.
He's like, "This is my universe. I can change things."
He just did the Inglourious Basterds thing where he just changes.
but a
Yeah.
little different.
Yeah.
Don't want to spoil it. 'cause
No,
it's a recent
exactly.
movie.
Yeah.
A lot of great actors in it that I didn't expect. There's like, I don't know, just huge actors just for like a couple lines.
Exactly. No, like Nicholas Hammond.
Yeah, he was in it.
He's in
Spider-Man
it.
himself.
Spider-Man himself, our boy. Who else?
There was
I mean, Lena Dunham was
Al
in it.
Pacino.
Oh, Pacino. Yeah. Oh, sorry,
Russell.
I forgot he was in it.
Kurt Russell was in it as a character,
As
and he
a-
also narrated it.
Yeah.
Which was good.
Wait, did Tarantino have a cameo?
I don't think so.
That's what I was thinking, because I was thinking back.
Maybe he embarrassed himself too much in Django, where he was
Did
like,
an
"Oh,
Aussie
mate."
accent. Aussie accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, that's Once Upon a
recommend
Time in Hollywood. Definitely watch it. Form your own opinion.
that. One of the best films of the year so far.
And shut up about the
Getting
feet.
hair in my ear.
Honestly.
Yeah, shut up.
What do you
about feet.
expect? Have you ever seen him? Anyway.
Yeah, a lot of people not a lot of people, but I've seen people say like it didn't feel very Tarantino. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, literally, it's
What are
like
you
feels
talking
like
about?
the most Tarantino film ever.
Maybe just because there wasn't extended scenes of dialogue where people were talking about like McDonald's or something,
Yeah.
like Pulp Fiction.
I was about to say, maybe because the only like films they watched of Tarantino were Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill, so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think all of his films are pretty famous though.
They are, that's the thing.
Like he's the bridge between the mainstream
Except
and
for
like,
Jackie
film
Brown.
bros. Jackie Brown. Yeah, no one knows that movie,
Yeah.
but I love that movie.
Sorry, just bumped out of frame for a second. But no, yeah. I need to watch Jackie Brown. It's the one I don't think I've seen.
Yeah. You've seen Death Proof though, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. That has a good foot shot before it gets chopped off by a
Hmm.
car.
Yes.
I watched Avengers Endgame again. On Blu-ray.
Again?
On Blu-ray. What do you mean?
Yeah, I know,
What do you
but
mean
I'm
again?
like, didn't you watch it like recently when you first bought it on Blu-ray?
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
Oh,
We bought it after we did the podcast last week.
true. Okay, wow. It feels like so much time has been. I'm
It
sorry.
does, yeah.
It feels like it's been a long time, but
But yes. It still holds up, I think. I still find myself being like, this. I don't have many problems with this.
yeah.
It's mainly like, I don't like 2014 Thanos. I think that was a bit, yeah.
Like why did they have to
I feel
kill
like-
Thanos
I feel
again?
like Thanos should have just not been in the movie. Like, I think they should have come up with a way. But then it's just to contrive that whole end battle at the end,
Yeah, it is.
where all the armies are there. But you could have done something else, because I feel like having Thanos again, it's like...
You just did Thanos, but again, yeah.
Every time it cuts to him, like in 2014, that's the bits where I doze off. Everything else is so fun.
Yeah,
And
it
cuts to Thanos
is.
be like,
Nebula.
Nebula is here.
Yeah.
I need to find the stones. Like, it's all just
Daughter.
putting pieces in play. Like,
Yeah.
so when you rewatch it, it gets really boring. Because there's nothing else to get out of those scenes other
Yeah.
than, like, plot.
Because you already know, like, yeah.
Other than that, it's a really good movie.
I love the way it opens too.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
And I think that third act is still works at home viewing.
Mm.
Because I was like, oh, will this be a bit, will it lose the effect? Because that first Avengers kind of had that. Where, like, you watch it
Yeah.
at home and it's like,
Yeah, like, yeah, cool. But it also has a lot to do, I think, with the score as well. It just feels
Yeah.
so,
Well,
like...
that's the thing, because now that this movie's out, when I watched, like, the end of the first Avengers again, when my mum was watching it the other week, like, it has that impact again.
yeah.
Because it's the score they used in the
Yeah,
Endgame.
exactly. I love that. Good job.
But now we've done a whole
Russos.
review on Endgame.
We're not going to go,
talk about it too
yeah,
much.
let's not go into it too much. What else
Scanners.
did I watch?
watched Scanners, the David
Scanners?
Cronenberg film from the 80s.
No, never.
You've probably seen the shot where it's like a dude's head exploding.
Oh, the one where it's like grotesque and he's like...
Yeah, he's like, "Ugh."
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a practical effect.
Yeah, I've
That's what
seen
that's
that.
from.
Yeah, that's
I
like
forgot-
everywhere as a GIF.
Yeah, I forgot where that was from until I was watching it. I'm like, wait, this is the scene where his head blows up.
That's in like
It
every
is.
Facebook GIF set. Yeah.
It was a pretty good movie. The performances were really weird. I don't know why. But like they were either really stilted or like, I don't know. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it. It's like about these people who can, the scanners technically, they're like telepathic and they can control people's minds and like use that power to blow them up and stuff.
Nice.
Typical like David
Cronenberg's, yeah, shenanigans.
I watched it pretty late, so I don't like remember much of it. Like I was kind of like dozing in and out.
Watch horror like late at night. You're brave.
What?
Like gross.
That's the best time to watch horror.
I know, but it's scary.
Okay. This wasn't even that scary, really. It was more like
Body stinkies.
Yeah.
I've been
Body
watching
stinkies.
a documentary series on YouTube called The Smash Brothers.
Okay.
It's a gaming thing. So it's like I think it's 7 parts, but it goes for 4 hours in total. It's in episodes. It's basically just about like how Smash Brothers Melee became like a esport. It's basically like the first esport, and it's just like the history of that, and it's really cool. And it follows like these characters, like the like best players that were back in the day, and like follows like the lives and like how they kind of came and how they feel about it too. Really, like it's really interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the characters are what makes it so good. Like these people that are just like would just be nobodies otherwise, but they have found this thing that just like makes them insanely relevant and like celebrities in their own rights. It's like pretty cool.
Yeah. That's the true. Speaking of the true, I watched Cloud Atlas,
Oh my god.
which is a very good film by the Wachowskis.
Wachowskis.
The Big Wachowskis. You haven't seen it, have
Are
you?
both the Wachowskis coming back for the new Matrix or just one of them?
Well, one of them's directing. I assume they'll both be involved.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, you should watch Cloud Atlas. I think
I want to.
it's a hard movie to like know if people will like it or not like it until you watch it. You know?
Yeah.
But it sounds like it might be something you enjoy because it's like
What should I watch
six different
first?
stories.
Jupiter Ascending or Cloud Atlas?
Cloud Atlas is better.
Okay.
Jupiter Ascending's borderline trash, but I still find it endearing because it's an original sci-fi idea on that scale.
Yeah.
And Eddie Redmayne obviously doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's what he sounds like the whole movie.
He justified that recently in an interview. Anyway.
Good. I want to see that interview. But I really, really like Cloud Atlas. It's not perfect, but I love those hyperlink films. That's what they're called, where it's like multiple stories that are connected in some loose way, but they're seemingly like their own stories.
Mm.
I guess you could call Pulp Fiction a hyperlink film, and like Magnolia.
Yeah.
This kind of reminds me of Magnolia. But if you don't know the premise, it's like pretty much all about how over the span of like 6 very distant generations, how the effects of that you make in the present will repeat itself in the future or like affect people way down the line. And
That's
it's also
cool.
about like reincarnation and like how you're drawn to certain people and the relationships you form in your life could have been like because of something that happened in the past life. And all that stuff's very interesting. It kind of loses me when it lingers on a plot thread too long because each story has its own like little plot.
Yeah.
And some of it's really fun. Like there's this one where it's like these old people trying to break out of a retirement home. It's really fun. That's the thing. Like every sequence is its own genre. So we cut from like
That's
whimsical
so
comedy
fun. That is so fun.
to like a period drama like on a boat where Tom Hanks says the N-word. And then there's a very far future one where it's like the Matrix, like space sci-fi stuff. Then there's like a very far future one where it's a dystopian future.
And they all talk like ooga
Yeah,
booga.
they speak in broken dialect with the true.
The true.
And there's one like in the 70s where it's like a crime thriller with Halle Berry.
Oh, nice.
It's good. And yeah, it's the same actors in every time period doing...
So it's always Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks and... Yeah, it's like... It's not the exact same like group of actors in each one. Like we'll like mix and match it sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
That's
I want to
good.
watch that.
Sometimes
That sounds like a really interesting premise.
Sometimes it's Hugo Weaving in yellowface. Sometimes it's...
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why everyone was complaining about that movie.
Yeah, sometimes it's in a black lady in whiteface. Sometimes it's an Asian lady that's done up to look like a ginger. And it looks kind of odd. Some of it looks pretty impressive. But then there's some where it's like,
like that.
that just looks like you put a mask on someone.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That's
But
a
no,
big yikes.
It's quite good. I like
Nice.
Cloud
Yeah, well,
Atlas.
I'll definitely, if I can get a copy of it. Or,
It's on Netflix.
oh,
Yeah. And I have the
Easy.
Blu-ray, so
I'll watch it on Netflix then.
yeah.
Getting sunburnt.
Comic segment of the
Yeah,
week.
comic segment of the week.
Spidey recap of the week. It's the comics that we read. Week to week, 2 of them. I did one, Sammie did the other one. Here it is. Spidey recap of the week time. It's issue 89 time.
Beatty 9.
Came out October 10th, 1970. Written by Stan Lee. Penciled by Gil Kane and inked by John Romita Sr.
John Romita Sr.
Well, that's just John Romita.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite Romita? John Romita Jr. or John Romita Sr.?
Junior.
Yeah, he's a very interesting art style.
I like it better. That's just personal preference though, so.
How would you describe it? It's very very sketchbooky.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Where it's not as like clean cut lines and very blocky. It's like
It's
I don't know.
fun, yeah.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's a fun art style. But this is drawn by Gil Kane, and the art looks a little different. Spidey's eyes look different. Faces
Spidey's
look
eyes.
a bit different.
Spidey's eyes look different.
And yeah, basically, the last issue, Doc Ock killed himself pretty much.
He what do you call it, kamikazed?
Yep. But we find out now that he lived. Is there
The
an
boy who
explanation?
lived.
Is there an explanation? There is not.
What the fuck? He is just literally the boy who lived.
They don't explain it.
Nice.
But Spider-Man is swinging around. He's like, I can't believe Doc Ock is dead, but I saw him crush with my own eyes. As strong as he is, even he couldn't survive a catastrophe like that. But yeah, he goes home. He's like, oh, I might as well accept it. I'm glad he's dead, pretty much. Fuck that guy.
Well, that's okay, Spider-Man. Sure.
And yeah, he gets out of his suit and goes out into the street. And he sees a newspaper report that says Doc Ock killed in an airport crash. And he's like, oh, I gotta read this. I gotta read all the details on it. And basically, he sees in the article it says no trace of Doc Ock was found in the wreckage. And he's like, what? He has tentacles. Surely they would have found the tentacles that are made of like indestructible.
Tentacles. What do they say in the back of that Spider-Man 2 DVD?
I don't know.
Metal tentacles.
4 metal tentacles.
What about his 4 metal tentacles, officer?
And Spider-Man says, Peter Parker says, no explosion could have destroyed Ock's steel tentacles. Someone should have found them. Unless he's still alive and he got away.
Bruh.
And we see a kid run up to him. He's like, hey, Peter, wait a second, man. It's Randy Robertson. And they have a little chat. And Randy Robertson, because he's an activist of sorts, he's like, hey, you want to come to the protest against air pollution? And Peter's like, oh, no, sorry, I'm busy. I got to do stuff. And Randy's pretty much like, you're a fucking fraud, aren't you, Peter? You think you care about things, but you really don't care, do you? You're just selfish.
Oh my god, that sounds like the state of social media right now.
Yep.
You know, like people complaining about people trying to spread awareness about the Amazon fire. They're like, oh, you don't really
yeah.
care. It's just like, just shut up. Like, just why are you complaining?
Yeah, that's what this guy's doing.
Yeah.
But Peter's like, oh, I wish I could tell him that I'm trying to find Dr. Octopus, but I can't because it's a secret. And then we see Dr. Octopus sneaking around in an alleyway. And he picks up the newspaper. And he's like, oh, they think I'm dead, do they? Well, that's just the way I want it. They mustn't expect my next attack. And most of all, Spider-Man mustn't expect it. So he pretty much does like a Doc Ock monologue and like runs off. Then we see Peter again. He makes it. He goes to a roof because he's going to change into Spider-Man and do some stuff.
Nice.
He's like, I need to find Ock before he fucking kills more people. So he swings around for ages and ages.
That's
he
a
doesn't,
cool panel.
Yeah, it's like all of Spider-Man. But basically, what he does is he's looking around everywhere, but he can't find him unless he's inside. He says. So he pretty much is like ready to take the L because he's like, I can't look inside every building in New York, and there hasn't been much of a ruckus being caused, so I better maybe just give up. And he swings past the Daily Bugle, and Jameson freaks the fuck out. He's
I haven't seen him in a while.
He's like,
I feel
Robbie,
like.
stay inside. Call the cops. We're under attack. And Robbie's like, what are you talking about? He's like, look, it's Spider-Man. And Robbie's like, just cool the fuck down, mate. He just swung past. He didn't do anything. And Jameson's like, everyone's all about this pollution these days, but the only thing I hate is Spider-Man.
Like, can I see Jameson? He looks so different.
Yeah, so does Robbie.
Yeah.
Robbie looks like a prune.
He looks old. He's like... Jonah Jameson's nose is so fat.
I know.
What the hell? Anyway.
His mustache looks like a shadow.
It does. A chateau.
But just in the nick of time, Spidey spots Doc Ock, and he's beating up like a smokestack, like at a factory, and he's like, "What? Why is he doing that? If he wrecks the power plant, then like all the power will go out, and that will be pretty bad." So he doesn't want the city to black out, so he's like, "I need to stop Ock right now." And Ock's like, yes, I attracted the attention of Spider-Man. When he appears on the scene, I will destroy him. Spidey tackles him. Doc Ock throws him. They get into a bit of a fight, the usual spiel. And Spider-Man, he's doing his best. He's trying to stop the smokestack from being destroyed, also defeating Doc Ock. He webs up Ock's arms in like a little thing. And yeah, it's just a big long fight scene pretty much. Doc Ock hits his head on something. Spider-Man does a little loop.
Doc Ock's always involved in these long ass fight scenes, I feel like.
Yeah, and Peter's like thinking to himself, he's like, oh, you think at a time like this, I wonder about Randy Robertson. What he'd think of me now if he thinks I'm being selfish for not getting involved with these protests. But then Doc Ock gets the upper hand. He's got him in his grips. But then Spidey does a little kick. He kicks him in the face. And pretty much where this all leads to is Doc Ock punches a... What do you call that? Like a water tower? Where it's got like...
What is it?
Those
water
towers,
tower.
like the Warner Brothers.
Yeah, pretty much.
He knocks over one of those, and there's all these civilians below, and Spider-Man's like, oh, fuck. If
This
that
looks
water
familiar.
tower falls on them, they're all gonna get drowned. So he throws himself under it and like holds it up with his back.
Yikes.
He's like, this weighs tons. I can't strain much longer, but I can't let all those people die. So he's like, I've got to hold this up for as long as I can, even if it breaks my fucking back. And he's like, I've got to get it off behind me before Ock comes back. And he does it. He pushes it back. The water spills onto the building instead of off it.
Oh, sick.
And Doc Ock's like,
Sickening.
yeah, good job, Spider-Man.
It was all a test.
He's like, that was a good one, and it will cost you your life. And he picks up Spider-Man with his arms, and he dangles him off the building, and he says, this time, you die. And the final panel is Spider-Man
and death does come.
getting thrown off the fucking building.
That's such a cool panel, but what the hell? His leg kind of looks detached there a
He
little
does.
bit.
He's dummy thick, though. Look at his
He
arm.
is dummy thick, bro. He is.
The next issue is called And Death Does Come. So I'm really curious to find out if Spider-Man just fucking dies in the first panel of yours.
Yeah, I think he does actually. That's like weird because like I didn't see much of Spider-Man in my one, so.
No. That's why we're ending the podcast. Good night.
Well, honestly, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Death does come.
Oh no.
Death does come, and it isn't a bluff in this issue. And I know usually in these comics, it's just like Aunt May is meant to die, but she doesn't end up dying. Some stupid.
She dead
stuff
yet?
Like that. No, unfortunately. But we actually had to see some real ass death, y'all fam. So let's do it. Issue 90 of The
Wow.
Amazing Spider-Man, which was published on the 10th of November 1970. So we're nearly in the 71. now.
Right, already.
Yeah, so it's November.
That's crazy bananas.
Crazy bananas, where? Spider-Man the Killer. So the front cover is Spider-Man holding a silhouetted man, and crawling down or up a building, and everyone's like,
Is it
Spider-Man
Mr.
did
Fears
it.
from The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
How'd you know? Wow. Spider-Man did it. It's all his fault. He's a murderer. Okay, so we continue on our first page, right where it left off in the last one, where Spidey's falling off the building and Doc Ock is tangling up with his webs. By the way, this one is also drawn by Gil Kane. So
Gil Kane.
yeah. So Spidey's thinking, I have to break my fall or else I'm done for, but I've only got split seconds left to act. Can't use my webbing to save myself because I'm out of web fluid. So Ock's tentacles, they're my only chance. So he kind of does a whole maneuver. He jumps around on the side of the building and kind of flips around and then grabs the tentacles and swings into the building, crashes into the window by using them like Tarzan vines kind of. It's nice try, Snake Arms, but not nice enough. From here on in, it's a brand new ball game. So he's getting chased by the tentacles in the this building, and obviously the tentacles don't have eyes, so they're just kind of feeling around for him. He's trying to avoid them at all costs.
They have eyes in the movie.
Yeah, they do. They back him into a corner, and they're just about to find him when they give up and go back to Ock. And he's like, but wait, I can't afford to lose him. So he just throws a spider tracer on his arm, as if Doc Ock wouldn't notice. It's just right fucking there. Anyway. Yeah. So seconds later, he peeks out and looks like the coast is clear. So he's feeling really ouchy. He's aching all over. He's really worse for wear. He's like, I'm aching all over. I wish there was a superheroes union somewhere. Superheroes union? Call the Avengers a superheroes union?
No, I'd call the Sokovia Accords
Oh, okay, yeah.
a superhero union.
Because if there was, I'd make sure a fella gets time and a half for tackling a Joker with 4 metal arms. Haha.
You tackled the Joker.
Yeah, the Joker from DC.
Joaquin.
So it looks like that Doc Ock has split, so he's not around anymore. So he's like, I've got the tracer on him, so I can stay on his trail, so I'm not going to try and chase him down or whatever. So he goes to where he stashed his civilian clothes and puts them back on. It's under this awning or something. And he's walking down the street, and he feels like he's about to collapse. He's like, my knees are like wet noodles. I must have taken a beating worse than I knew. And we see someone kind of approaching Peter, following him, just footsteps and someone's arm. We don't really know who it is. And all of a sudden, someone grabs him by the arm and says, I've been following you. Also, how weird does he look in this panel, Peter Parker?
Oh my lord.
I know.
Who does he look like? He looks like,
He looks like an actor, hey.
Yeah. Not sure. Miles Teller.
He does. He actually does look like Miles Teller there, weirdly enough. Okay, so it's Captain Stacy. That's who's been following him. He's like, what's wrong, son? Are you ill? Perhaps you haven't licked that Fleabag yet. And Pete's just like, oh, I'm afraid you're right, sir. I guess I got out of bed too soon. And all of a sudden, Pete just gets a wave of, sickness over him, and he collapses. And Captain Stacy catches him. And he takes him home to his home. And Pete's waking up to the sound of, Peter, are you all right? Wake up, wake up. It's me, Gwendolyn. It's like a dream sequence almost, but she's really there. It's her face is like a ghost. But yeah,
It's
no.
like what they do in Star Trek, where they rub Vaseline on the lens for the women characters, so they look
Oh
all
my
ethereal.
god, yeah, exactly. They look all yeah. Rub Vaseline on the lens. Do they actually do that?
I don't know. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on something and I realize it's my wallet.
Ouch. So, Pete's really happy to see Gwen. She's like, you mustn't scare us like that, Mr. Parker. And what's his name? Captain Stacy's like, oh, it looks like Gwen was just the medicine you needed, Peter. And Pete's just like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. I'm sorry, Captain Stacy, for collapsing on you like that. And he's like, oh, it's all right. It happens to the best of us, boy. And he says, I've never known anyone with such amazing powers, recuperation. He looks at Pete while he says that, and Pete's just like, oh, he said that as almost as if he suspects more than he's telling. And he's like, oh, Gwen and I will give you a chance to pull yourself together. We'll leave you alone. So, he gets out of bed. He's like, oh, well, I'm feeling pretty good. Does a handstand with one arm.
That's pretty good.
And he's like, well, I have a 6-armed killer to settle a score with. Thus, a short time later, Pete says goodbye to the Stacys, and he seems to be climbing up the side of a building without his shoes on. So he took his shoes off to do it.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to see if the helicopter was in it again.
Oh,
It didn't.
production budget.
No, that's my hair.
Oh. Anyway, so Peter Parker takes his shoes off to climb up the side of a building, which is something I haven't seen much in these comics.
I like
but,
that though,
yeah.
because I'm always like, whenever it's like a movie and he's wearing shoes and he climbs up a building, I'm like, how's he doing that?
Yeah, exactly.
His shoes aren't sticky.
Doesn't make sense. Anyway, so it seems like he's heading somewhere. He's thinking, oh yeah, 'cause this is what he's thinking while he's like heading to where he wants to go. He's like, I got invited to that rally, but I can't go to it. It's not that I don't care about like, issues like air pollution. It's just that I'm trying to like fucking fight a guy.
A terrorist.
A terrorist, yeah. So minutes later, ESU's top scholarship science student begins to do his thing. So it turns out he's either at home or like, oh yeah, he's at home. He's doing some science shit. He's like, I gotta admit it's a long shot, but it may just take him by surprise. And the element surprise may be the one thing that'll give me an edge when we meet. So it seems like he's like making something to defeat Doc Ock. And you see him putting it in his like utility belt. Dude, he looks jacked too. Like, look at that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Gil Kane likes Peter Parker
Muscly
very
men.
jacked.
Yeah. Anyway, so he goes to sneak out of the home because Harry's sleeping, puts his Spidey costume on. He's really determined. He's like ready. He's like thwipping and swinging around the city trying to find like the spider tracer where the signal's coming from. And all of a sudden he gets a little he's get his PD tingles. He's like, oh, it must be around here on this building. So he like goes into the building. Oh no, sorry, he's on the side of the building about to enter through a window when all of a sudden he gets tangled by some mechanical arms. Oh no.
Oh Jesus Louises.
He got zoinked. He got fucking, what do you call it, like ganked, I guess. He got tricked by Doc Ock. Doc Ock's like, dude, you idiot, like I saw the tracer on there. Do you think I'm blind? Like, what the fuck? So he put it in, like, he basically baited Spider-Man and they have a big old fight again. So he's getting pinned down by the arms and he's like, he can't get free. He's like, I need to get free for this plan has to work. I need to. And then all of a sudden, he breaks free and everything's depending on his speed. So he's like dodging the arms to make sure, he's flipping them. So he's flipping a couple arms we see, but not actually really doing much. He's just like webbed them up. And all of a sudden, his arms are attacking each other, Doc Ock's arms. And we're like, oh God, what's happening? Because at first I thought, oh, he's dodging the arms to try and make them tangle up with each other.
Yeah.
But I was like, no. Turns out, this is his explanation. I'm just trying to find it.
Is Miles Morales there? Invisible?
Yeah.
In Spider-Verse?
Yeah, it's Miles Morales. Yeah. No, he's formulated a special sort of chemical fluid that jams the device between his brain impulses and the arms or something like that. Anyway, he's lost control of his arms and they're attacking each other. They're punching him in the face and shit starts to go a bit wrong because it feels like Spider-Man has won because he's defeated the Doc Ock and he's like, getting attacked by the Doc Ock. He's getting attacked by themselves and all of a sudden Captain Stacy appears on the street and he's like, I had to reach here just in time. They're battling up on that roof, but the crowd below doesn't realize the danger. They must clear the area. And Spidey's like, oh, I better get him before he's killed by his own arms, talking about Doc Ock. But the arms are kind of out of control either way. They're still attacking him and Doc Ock. And the arms get so out of control that they break a piece of the building and it tumbles down to the pedestrians.
Oh, no.
And everyone's running out of the way, but this kid's like looking up like, oh fuck. Like, this is the most stressful page out of this whole thing. So it's like the pieces are falling below, but if anyone should be hit, and this kid's sitting there, he's like, no. And you just see Captain Stacy diving out of nowhere. He's like, look out, son, look out. Please, God, let me not be too late. And he pushes the kid out of the way and he's like shook, but Captain Stacy's like buried. He got hit by all that rubble. And Peter's like, Captain Stacy, and he swings right down to the pedestrian crossing, not like the sidewalk immediately, uncovers him. He's like, he's got to be alive, he's got to. His heart's still beating, but it's so weak, he's so faint. And Captain Stacy's like, I'm done for, son. He's like, no, you're not. So Peter like grabs him and takes him to the top of the building, and everyone's like, Spider-Man killed Captain Stacy. It's all his fault. You have a ladybug on your shoulder.
Ladybug, grab it for me.
Oh, he blew away.
Oh,
I tried to pick him up, but he blew away.
sad. So Captain Stacy's dead.
Yeah, so not yet.
Oh.
He's like, hang on, Captain. I'll have you there in seconds in the hospital. He's like, no, boy, it's useless. You must put me down, I beg you. I have to talk to you. There's so little time. Peter's like, what is it, Captain? I'm listening. And Captain Stacy's like, it's Gwen. After I'm gone, there'll be no one to look after her. No one, Peter, except you. He's like, you know who I am? He's like, I've always known. And he dies. Oh no, before he says that, he's like, be good to her, son. Be good to her. She loves you so very much.
So the opposite of what
happens in the Amazing
movie.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Stay the fuck away from her.
He's like, please look after her. And he dies. And he's like, first I lost Uncle Ben, and now the second best friend I've ever had is dead.
Aw.
Yeah, he's like...
Wait, who's his best friend? Harry?
Probably, yeah. He's
Yes.
like, rest easy, sir. I'll love Gwen and cherish her as long as I live. Yikes.
As long as he lives.
Yeah. And that's it. That's the
it.
end of it. Yeah. Issue 90, The Death of Captain Stacy.
Wow.
Wow.
I've actually read that one before.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what happened, so it was a good refresher. Doc Ock dropped rubble on him.
Yeah. Not on purpose, though. That's the thing. That's why Spider-Man feels responsible. Yeah.
Fan mail segment of the week.
I'll get the...
Thomas tweets. He tweets in every week. We don't know what he's gonna say, but it's probably a good one. Hey.
Yeah, there we go.
So we only got one tweet from Thomas, our number one fan this week, unfortunately, and it says, at peterpalmerpod, I haven't had a chance to listen to the new pod because I'm on holiday, but I just wanted to say that I had a dream that you guys were recording your pod live on stage, and then I surprised you behind the curtain by showing up. But you didn't seem to care. Sad.
Oh.
Well, and then Mike replied...
Maybe it was a premonition dream.
Yeah, saying exactly that.
Also, what a coincidence he goes on holiday at the same time we're on the run.
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on here?
It seems a bit... it's a bit
Yeah.
convenient, isn't
I
it?
know. Very strange.
Anyway.
But that's it.
That's the podcast.
This is under an hour.
Wow, that's crazy. Let's see.
Look. And that's with all the shit cut out, too.
Yeah. This is a really short podcast.
Do we get anything on
this week.
Instagram? Let's look on Instagram.
Oh God, we're really reaching, aren't we?
We've probably got like a, yo, check out my page. You want some sick art
Oh, I know
done?
what we can talk about.
Oh,
Let's
Sony
talk about
deal.
that,
That's
yeah.
right, we're meant to talk about that.
Yeah.
But I did my fucking quiz instead.
Yeah.
I don't know. What hasn't been said about it, really? I guess we can just say what we think
What
about
we
it. but
think
it's like,
about
it's
it,
disappointing that Spider-Man might not be in the MCU anymore, but also, like, I'm not, like, heartbroken over it.
Yeah.
I
And
kind
what
of
I think
expected
is
it
like...
from the start.
Exactly, and that's what I think is like the funny thing about it is that it was gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's such a bizarre deal to happen in the first place, where two studios team up and, like, share
Yeah.
custody over a character. Like, it's a
Yeah.
very
It's
unique
odd,
thing that hasn't
yeah.
been done before.
No, it's so weird.
And when they're both, like, these big corporations that, like, all they want is money. Like,
Yeah.
that's, I don't know.
And everyone's like angry at Sony, and that just doesn't make sense
No.
to me, honestly.
And people are all angry at Disney.
Disney,
and
and
it's kind of both their faults.
It is, yeah. But-
Because from Disney's point of view, because Far From Home is the highest grossing Sony film of all time. So, like, we want more of a cut
Yeah.
of the profits. And Sony, like, why?
No, yeah. They're like,
We agreed you'd get 5%.
yeah. They're like, how about no?
How about
But it's,
%?
yeah, I don't know. It's funny because Disney already has like so many that will and have gotten $1 billion plus.
Yeah.
So, and plus they own all the
So
merch and
They're
stuff.
pretty greedy,
yeah.
aren't they?
But it's fine. Like it is what it is, and it was gonna happen. And
I don't think Disney are in a place where they'll be like, oh, no, we made a mistake. We want
No.
Spider-Man back. They'll be like, yeah, cool.
because they're also using the fans' backlash too, like
Yeah.
in a way. I don't know. It's like
I'm more interested to see how this
Continues,
third movie
yeah.
turns out without any references to the MCU, but it's
Yeah.
still continuing on from the previous movies. I want to know how that turns out.
I'm actually like, you know what? Actually, that's kind of like morbid
Yeah.
ass sounding, but That's kind of cool that we get to kind of see how they like tackle that, and it's
Yeah.
going to be really interesting to play, like and fun to watch and play out.
Suddenly, Jon Favreau is just not in it.
Yeah, and Marissa Tomei.
It's like, where is Redacted gone?
Yeah. Oh no, Marissa
Tomei
Tomei could be in it.
She's
yeah.
a Spider-Man character.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. Anyway,
It would be really weird if like not Spider-Man, Marvel started making their own like Spider-Man movies, and Sony made theirs too. Like if they
two at the same time.
Yeah, there was like some sort of loophole
yeah.
where they could make a Spider-Man movie, but
So
Sony
it'd be like
makes
two
their own.
continuities. I'm so excited for Venomverse. Venomverse.
Yeah, do you reckon?
Venomverse.
I reckon they'll do what they did with Civil War now, where they'll just write in one scene with Spider-Man into
Yeah,
Venom 2.
into Venom 2.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You know what? I'm not too mad about it, honestly.
No, I wasn't mad when I heard the news.
I was just worried, that's all, because I was afraid that Tom Holland wouldn't be Spider-Man anymore.
Yeah, I didn't know the details because I'm like, God
Yeah.
damn it.
It was just a bit...
Yeah, because I kind of I half expected them to like take it back after like one movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think everyone was.
'Cause I remember when the
yeah.
deal happened, they said like he's only signed on for like 2 movies at Marvel, or like
Sorry.
3 movies.
And he's been in like 4 or 5 now, hasn't he?
He's been in 5.
5.
He's been in Civil War, the last 2
Avengers
then
and 2
2
Spider-Man films.
So like, yeah,
That's fine.
we've got plenty of Tom Holland Spider-Man already,
We have, yeah.
and we're gonna get more. Just not with Kevin Feige at the helm.
You reckon John Watts will continue directing?
Just get Avi Arad fucking away. Yeah, they've said John Watts is still signed on,
That's good.
unless he takes a walk, which I don't think he will. I think he
won't.
wants a
He
job.
won't. No.
Anyways, that's the show for
That's
this week.
the show. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys like the setting.
Hopefully it sounded okay.
Yeah.
If you want to follow us, you can do that at peterpalmerpod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can also email us at peterpalmerpod,
At gmail.com.
peterpalmerpod@gmail.com. I still get that wrong.
Please tweet us, Thomas.
Yeah, please tweet us.
Please.
That means we'll have double Thomas tweets next week.
Yay!
Hopefully, if he's still not on holiday. I was going to do more high fives.
All right, we're hungry. Bye, everyone.
We're hungry. We're going to get food. And I'll buy you a bubble tea. 'cause
Oh, no,
you won,
it's okay.
You won the
Okay.
you won the prize.
All right, so then I'll do a quiz next week, and then I'll buy you bubble tea if you won the prize.
Okay. Thank you, podcast. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Sammie.
Thank you, Mike. Thank
Good
you,
night.
Sammie. Good night.
Yeah, 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 wow. Yeah, 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 wow. ビルの谷間の暗闇に